Alright, what's up YouTube? I guess I can do one more YouTube video before my dad comes, because I do have to go to the doctor. Alright, this one's going to be my results, or what I thought about WWE 2021 Royal Rumble results. Alright, let's start with the matches that I did see. I didn't watch it in order because it's a long pay-per-view. So I pick what I like, and I go off of that. I'm going to say I like the wrestling match between Bill Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre. I thought the wrestling match was too short. I felt that there were other people that he could have wrestled for the world title. And I'm not trying to say that that was not the right obvious choice. I feel like the match, it was like a cross between Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, except for it was at the Royal Rumble and it's with another opponent. I felt that this match was too short. I felt that the match could have lasted just a little bit longer. It was nice to see Goldberg go for 3 or 4 spears, and Goldberg wasn't as tired as much, but I feel like he, towards the end of the match, just burnt out. Simply either because he didn't want to do a long wrestling match, or he didn't think he had to go that far. And I feel like Drew McIntyre was not being, what's the word I'm looking for? He wasn't being pushed like a world champion. Like, it felt like, okay, you're the champion, go out there, put on a match, win the match, you're the champion. I feel like the person that will be doing that is who I will get to later. But to me, nevertheless, it was a championship match. Drew McIntyre did go out there and did his best, so I don't blame Drew McIntyre. I don't put any blame on Drew McIntyre whatsoever. It's not his fault. You know, he did what a champion is expected to do. He went out there, he wrestled, he beat the man, he beat the legend Goldberg. Now, why I put some of this on Goldberg is because it's the same thing that The Undertaker got upset about, I think, 2 years ago, where they wrestled during the summertime. First time ever, Goldberg versus The Streak, The Undertaker. And the match was too short, and Undertaker was upset because he wanted the guy that couldn't nobody beat at WCW. And I kind of felt the same thing with this match. Like, when I'm watching the replay, I'm like, you kidding me? Okay, 3 or 4 spears and then the match is over. Even though Goldberg didn't win and Goldberg congratulated him, I felt like the match could have been much better had they to me it seemed like it was kind of rushed. That's what it felt like to me, and it felt like Drew McIntyre was happy, but you could kind of see he didn't really get that match that he was looking for, that one wrestling match where guys go, that is the guy that almost pushed me to my championship belt. So that's my thoughts on that. What do I feel about the Royal Rumble? I thought the Royal Rumble was true classical Royal Rumble fashion. I thought the Royal Rumble sold it. To me, the Royal Rumble was better than the championship match. Like, there were only 2 championship matches on that card. But the Royal Rumble was better because all of the old school wrestlers that you have not seen over the years came back. You know, it was nice to see Edge and Christian team up. It was nice to see Daniel Bryan, Kane return. Khalito Cool popped up. I thought that was nice. B.E. Lynchton coming face to face with Bobby Lashley. That's a wrestling match I want to see at WrestleMania. Don't sell me Bobby Lashley versus Big E Langston on Raw or on SmackDown. Now, if you want to put them in the system and have them wrestle each other in tag matches or do promos of going against each other or talking smack to each other, okay. But Bobby Lashley versus Big E Langston, that should be saved for WrestleMania. Because that has the potential to say, if Bobby Lashley could beat Big E Langston in 2 or 3 matches, that might convince everybody to say, okay, let's give us Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Hold off on Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, because if you're going to build that match up, when you want B.E. Lynchton or Bobby Lashley to face each other. They've never faced each other, so you have an opportunity for a match right there made for WrestleMania. So you just showed us what's going to be for WrestleMania. That's what I like about the Royal Rumble. The last 8 Royal Rumbles didn't do that. Like when I was a kid and the Royal Rumble used to come on my birthday, I used to be excited because the Royal Rumble didn't just have wrestling matches where you had to win the title. It had a story, good versus bad, right versus wrong. But the Royal Rumble kind of set up the next big major pay-per-view, which is WrestleMania. And what I liked about it was you saw all your favorite. I liked how Randy Orton pulled the angle. He pretended he was hurt, and then he tries to come back at the end. The fact that Edge eliminated Seth Rollins was kind of like surprising. Like I expected Seth Rollins to be the one to win the Royal Rumble because he's always talking about, I'm the star, I'm the future of the WWE on Raw. And the fact that Edge eliminated him and then Randy went for an RKO and then he eliminated Randy Orton was shocking. So to me, you now have another story that you can sell. You now can do a triple threat. You now can do Edge versus Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton because think about it. Seth Rollins can say, I was robbed. You could put that in the story. I was robbed. To me, when I think of Royal Rumble, who should have won this year's Royal Rumble, I wasn't expecting Edge. I thought it was either going to be Seth Rollins, maybe Randy Orton, probably Bobby Lashley. I didn't really have a pick of who I thought would win this Royal Rumble. And when I watched the match, it seemed like Seth Rollins actually was going to win until he got eliminated. Randy Orton tried to pull a sneakeroo, and that cost him the match. So when we get to Monday Night Raw, for a fact Edge is going to get confronted by Randy Orton, but they're going to have to turn it into a triple threat. I want to see Edge versus Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in a triple threat because you have a story. Think about it. One of them or both of them can challenge Edge for the right to go to WrestleMania. This would help, I think, Drew McIntyre as champion, because think about it, if you get Edge, right, another guy that does the spear like Goldberg, you have the door to do potential matches. You could do Edge versus Goldberg because it's never been done before. Think about it. Goldberg can say, my spear is better than your spear. You could have Goldberg lost, right? So the thing you would probably want to do is have Goldberg give advice to Edge, but then set up Goldberg versus Seth Rollins. 2 guys that felt like they lost the Royal Rumble. One lost the championship match. One felt that he should have won the Royal Rumble. And the winner of that gets a shot at the title at WrestleMania. While on the other hand, you could have Randy Orton and Edge pick up where they left off. Drew McIntyre congratulates the winner of the Royal Rumble because now you expect to see Edge take on Drew McIntyre. That helps Drew McIntyre out because now you get a chance to see how the match at WrestleMania will be. So Royal Rumble just set up the next big major pay-per-view. Seeing female wrestlers return like Victoria, it was nice to see her in top form. She's a little older, but she still has the ability to put on a show, to put on a match. I was impressed by that. And of course, like I said, another big surprise was seeing Jeff Hardy, Kane, Kalisto. Those are all big surprises in the Royal Rumble. And the fact that we got to see that, that Kevin Owens clashed with Roman Reigns in the match. It'd be nice, but like I said, at WrestleMania, I would like to see Bobby Lashley versus Big E Lynchton. I don't think you do Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar yet because you need build-up. You need a proper build-up match to make Bobby Lashley be battle-tested. Like, if first challenges, he got to go through somebody like a Goldberg. Then he got to go against Big Lynchton. You have that match end with no winner. Set up a rematch. All right, Bobby Lashley won, but it was on the count out. Now you got to fight Big Lynchton for the third and final time. All right, he beats him for a third and final time. Now you can kind of, for SummerSlam, you can do Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley if you're going to go that route. So that's my prediction for wrestling. For the Royal Rumble. Normally I don't do wrestling pay-per-view reviews, but I'm doing it because it was the Royal Rumble. And I didn't do it for last year's WrestleMania because too much was going on. So I'm doing it for this year. Until next time, peace.